This is the Rita Cosby Show.
Joining us right now is Fernando Mateo. He is the head of the United Bodegas of America Association. And Fernando, it's great to have you on the show, my friend.
Rita, it's good to hear you, and really thank you so much for the support WABC has given Jose Alba and all bodegueros in the city. It's good. I can't express the gratitude that we have. Never thought that we'd get this kind of support from all New Yorkers.
Well, and there has been such an incredible outpouring, and you have always been such a great fighter for the bodega workers. And I know you feel so passionately. First, take us back, Fernando, about your thoughts on this case. Aren't you still astounded that there were ever charges to begin with? Here is this man, as you know these bodega workers so well. They're working long hours. It's late at night. And suddenly, this guy comes over, and clearly, if you see the video, it is so clear what happened. Are you stunned that the DA even pressed charges against him?
People don't understand how hard these men and women and children work. Especially, most of these bodegas are owned by family members. It's mom and dad and the kids running the grocery stores, running the bodegas. And all they really have to defend themselves is a shield, a plastic shield that divides them from the customer. The judge and the jury in this case are the videotapes that we have all seen. Everyone in America has seen what happened to Jose Alba. It's not a New York story. It's a national story. And there's no judge or jury in New York City that will find Jose Alba guilty. So when we met with D.A. Bragg, we expressed that to him. We told him, what are you going to do? And he basically said, listen, I've got to finish my investigation. I get different pieces of evidence every single day. We're going to put it together, and we're going to make a determination. So I said to him, that means that you can drop the charges against Jose Alba. And he says, yes, that is a possibility. So the thing here is, you know what? He knows that the right thing to do is to drop the charges. But I also believe that he doesn't want to be seen as if he's caved in to public pressure, to the public. He doesn't want to be seen as the DA that caved in. So you know what? Let's give him enough time for him to dot the dots, cross the T's, and then drop the charges. Because ultimately, that's what has to happen. Why are you spending taxpayer dollars? Why are you punishing a man that all he did was really try to survive? All he was doing was defending himself from someone that was out there to kill him. Jose Alba didn't leave his house that morning, to kill someone. Jose Alba went to work to support his family. And this young man that was half his age went around the counter and started beating on an old man. The old man grabbed whatever he could to defend himself. And unfortunate for Austin Simon, he was killed. It wasn't Jose's intention, and everyone has seen that. So I think the best thing that could have happened was that this bodega had video cameras, surveillance cameras, because if they did not, Jose Alba would be facing 20 to 30 years in jail. His entire life, he would have spent it in jail. But thank God, those cameras, those surveillance, those videos that everyone has seen is going to save his life.
It's a shame, Fernando, that it took the videotape because just like you said, I'm thank God for the videotape, but imagine if there was not the videotape. You're right. If they were going to charge him with the videotape, imagine what would have happened without the videotape.
Yes, Rita, it's a very complex thing, but right now, the United Bodegas of America is telling all bodegueros, make sure you have cameras, because we have looters, robbers, shoplifters, assaulters, murderers coming into our bodegas every day. And what's most compelling is that Alvin Bragg said to me, Fernando, when I was a kid, my mother always said to me on my way home from school that if I felt I was in danger, to walk into the corner bodega because you will get a safe haven at that place. So if he knows this, if he grew up in Harlem and he grew up in the hood like we all did, he knows the pain and the agony that these people go through every single day. That is the biggest problem that we have. If he understands it, why hasn't he done something about it? But I'll tell you, he was very, very cordial. He was very polite, very wanting, willing, and able to listen to us, to listen to our problems, and help us find solutions. In fact, I asked him, are you opposed to bodega owners being armed, carrying firearms? And he said to me, no. If they want to, they should be able to get a gun to protect themselves. So, on one hand, he's very liberal. On the other hand, he seems to care, but not enough to drop the charges of Jose Alba, who's going through a mental breakdown at this particular moment.
A friend of mine who is a deputy DA made this comment because a lot of people around the country are going, why is this guy charging Jose Alba? And he said that a DA should never charge someone with a crime unless they have evidence to prove the case beyond a reasonable doubt. And that if DA Bragg charged Jose Alba, which he did with second-degree murder and asked for $250,000 bail, which he did, Fernando, but was, quote, only investigating, he may have committed prosecutorial misconduct. In other words, you shouldn't bring the charge unless you feel like you have a rock-solid case. You don't just bring a charge and then investigate later, I mean, it's crazy. I know you're not an attorney, but when you look at this, Fernando, it seems like it's lopsided.
Well, Rita, I'll tell you one thing. There was a very big mistake made, and it's exactly what you said. D.A. Bragg made a mistake, and he locked up Jose Alba. And the bail was initially $500,000. Then it was lowered to $250,000, and then it was lowered again to $50,000, and he was out with $5,000. So mistakes have been made, and I believe that he can't afford to make another mistake in this case. He has to do what he's got to do, and he cannot make a mistake. That is why we are telling him, take the time that you need, but drop the charges, because it's what the country is asking for. If we did a survey right now, I guarantee you that 10 out of 10 people, 100 out of 100 people that look at this videotape will say Jose Alba was self-defense. He was standing his ground. He did not go out to provoke these people. He went behind the counter and assaulted this man. You can't do that and get away with it.
And you also hear, you hear Fernando, him saying too, I don't want no problems. I mean, he also tried to diffuse the problem even after the guy came around the counter. So I agree with you. My heart just goes out to Jose Alba so much. Before I let you go, Fernando, and again, we're talking to Fernando Mateo. He's the head of the United Bodegas of America. And Fernando, I want to ask you about this woman, because the woman who you see stabbing Jose Alba in the video, she hasn't been charged yet. And even Mayor Adams is suggesting, maybe she should be charged. And a lot of people are. I mean, and we understand the prosecutors are telling people privately they think she was acting in self-defense. It's like, wait a minute. She may have been acting in self-defense, but not Jose Alba? Give me a break.
Well, I'll tell you, I've got to give a big thanks. This industry needs to thank Mayor Adams, because he was the first one to come out and say that he supports hardworking New Yorkers. He supports our small businesses, and Jose Alba was defending himself from Mr. Simon. Eric Adams came out firsthand and said that, and he also came out and said that this woman should be in jail. Why she should have been prosecuted? Because you could see her stabbing Jose Alba. In the meantime, she's not being charged, but Jose Alba's being charged because he stabbed Austin Simon. Give me a break. There can't be two sides. There can't be the same book can't have two different meanings. It's got to have one meaning. And that's why we're asking DJ Bragg, please drop the charges, end this fiasco, end the circus. We don't need this in New York City right now. And lock up the criminals that are threatening the lives of so many others. One last thing, Rita. He has maybe thousands of cases of people carrying illegal guns. I asked him, how many cases do you have involving legitimate people who have carry permits, legitimate guns? And he said none. So it's not the legal people that you've got to worry about. It's the criminals that are out there shooting, robbing, assaulting, and killing people on New York City streets.
Yeah, 1,000%. Well, the bodega workers are lucky to have you, Fernando Mateo, speaking out on their behalf. Love talking to you again, my friend, and I'm glad that you're here on the show, and keep fighting the great fight for Jose Alba. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.